Good morning, rise and shine. Happy hump day. Come on in. Like the video, like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to another episode of Car Chronicles. Come along with me on this hour-long drive into the office. We got some things to talk about. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Good morning. Like the video. Good morning. Come on in. As I'm just waiting for you all to come in, I'm just thinking about President Donald J. Trump and what he said. Y'all, he do not like the mainstream media. If it ain't Fox, come on in, Lord Jesus. I think that man said New York Times. He said the New York Times is going to hell, y'all. OMG, he meant the thing. I was not ready. I said, wow. the the whole company, the whole corporation, everybody, all y'all going to hell. You know, you all, it it be so much information, y'all, that I be taking in before I go on these lives. Y'all just don't understand what is up, Don. Donald Trump said, the New York Times, they are bad people. They going to hell. He said, matter of fact, CNN could get this work, MSNBC could get this work. Listen, anybody in this room from CNN, y'all bad people. Y'all going to hell. I said, Trump, they going to hell? Is that where they going? What they do? What they said? Y'all, when I say I ain't never heard somebody say a whole business was going to hell, he said the people going to hell. All y'all going to hell. Happy Wednesday. Y'all. See, I got to go live because I can't keep all this to myself. I'm like, I got to share it with the people. I need to let the people know that Donald John Quavy is Trump said the New York Times is going to hell. He said they are bad people. Y'all, I promise you I don't be making this stuff up. I be saying, as crazy, as asinine as it may sound, I don't make this up. A lot of times, y'all, y'all might hear it first over here because I be tapped in. Like, this is the content. I be having to damn take in this foolishness. So y'all be like, what? But I promise y'all, after each live, y'all go look up the ish I be talking about. Y'all gonna be like, damn, that woman was right. She said that he cussed them people out on the doggone green lawn before he got on that plane and got flued out. I told y'all he cussed them. Listen, folks be thinking I be lying, lies and propaganda. Some of this ish be so just outlandish to where it's just like it would be best if they were lies so people could sleep at night. But child, this be some real deal. This stuff don't be lies. What percentage of this stuff y'all hear these days that y'all wish that it was lies? Y'all wish that somebody was lying when they said, yo, Trump cussed them folks because Iran and Israel out on the green line. How many of y'all wish that was a lie? Because that man straight just went ham. He went ham in the morning. Like, clearly he be having that chic energy because y'all know, y'all probably wondering, like, how the hell this woman be having all this energy like that in the morning? Listen, this is the type of ish I be getting into before I go live. How do you not have energy after you go and learn the ish that I be coming and telling y'all on these lives? I done damn, but y'all, we gonna talk today. We was talking yesterday, then we gonna talk today. Trump said, "You are MF alive. Y'all think that we didn't obliterate? We standing. Listen, we 10 toes down when we say we went over in Iran and turned them lights out. What they Hassan Campbell say, turned the TV off. We turned their TV. Listen, they said we did go over there. Okay. Yes, the report came back saying that the results were inconclusive, but but that I said, wait a minute, wait a minute. Inconclusive. He was like, I mean, yeah, the report said inconclusive, but still, I mean, everything black is smoke over there. Everything on top of the land is obliterated. So everything down below is obliterated. Trump said, listen, just listen. Don't worry about the other details. Don't worry about that report. You listen. I'm telling y'all, Iran about to have their people on the ground going and assessing it too. They gonna come back with the same use of the term obliterated, because I think he trying to say that he gave good morning, what's up, Rissa. He's saying the word came from him hearing them. Now Donald John Quavy is what they say, to call him Donald John Quavy is Trump. Y'all ever want to know what the J stood for? Jaquavius. Donald Jaquavius Trump said that the obliterated word, like he heard them say it. He was like, hell, that's what them folks over there was saying. So I mean, so I'm like, they using that word over there like that, Donald J. So he was like, listen, like that's what they said. I mean, it's smoke. It's smoke everywhere. I mean, stuff gray. It looked like it's obliterated, but anyway, we still gonna go with that. We'll be able to co-sign. We'll be able to confirm soon enough. But what you need to know is that ain't no nuclear bombs getting built over there. And it's lies when they say that it was only just damage and a setback for a few months. He was like, that is not true. It was so he said, the US ended the war. He was like, when I dropped that bomb over there, that ended the war. So if y'all ever want to know what was it that ended the war, we'll see if they put it in the history books. Because Donald Trump said what ended the war was when the US dropped them bombs. That is what ended the war. If you want to know what ended it, that is what ended. So, pop quiz, when you in the future, when you see it on the test, what ended the war between Iran and Israel in June 2025? You got the answer. When the US came up in that piece in Iran and dropped them bombs. That is what Donald Jaquavius Trump said. That's what he said. It ended the war. So, listen, y'all might get all the other answers wrong. You need to get that one right. Get that one right, because that's what he said. Anybody try to challenge you on that? Like, listen, that's what the hell he said back in 2025, what ended the war. So I'm going to need for you to reevaluate this test score and give me my credit for that one question. So he was like, stop lying as far as this intelligence report. Hegseth said first, since they want to leak, they need to tell it the right way. And the correct story is we went over there and messed up their little situation. There is no nuclear bombs coming. They literally will have to move around, go somewhere else, rebuild, set up shop, do all the stuff that they're basically wanting these illegal immigrants in the U.S. to do. They like, listen, you need to move around. You need to move around and go back home, because you can't stay here. You cannot stay here. So that's the message they have. I seen yesterday Caroline Levitt, y'all. I don't know if y'all ever get into Caroline Levitt's energy when she be on. Caroline cracks me up. Let you try to say something that she don't like. Let you try to be at the press conference that Caroline Levitt is leading, and you say some ish that she don't like. She will try to embarrass the F out of you. OMG. I remember y'all, because yesterday Caroline started speaking to this whole, with the intelligence report and it coming out saying that allegedly, apparently it was leaked. Somebody from the inside leaked this report. So there's an investigation being going that's taking place right now to figure out who the hell did that. So they messed around and asked Caroline Levitt on her day off. Because I don't think she did a press conference yesterday. I ain't see it if she did. Caroline caught the attitude. Like, I don't know what the hell they should have been. She come low light. Listen, whoever leaked that report, Caroline gave them that work. She gave them that work. I said, Lord, wait till she get back to the office. Because I don't know if she went to the NATO, Trump at the summit. I don't know where Caroline is. She at home with the husband and the baby until he get back. But Caroline was like, first of all, it's only going to be a low level person who leaking this type of information. I can't remember her exact words, but it's in that rim. Y'all know how Caroline be talking. And she was like, we did obliterate. Listen, Caroline be out. Anything Donald Jaquavius Trump say, Caroline, I promise you, will come to that podium and back it 10 toes down like she's seen it. Like that rider that you want by you. Oh, that's Caroline all day long when it comes to Trump. That is Caroline. She will die on the cross for that man, regardless. And I told y'all, what that man say on Tuesday, don't be trying to hold him to that on Friday. If y'all ain't learned that yet, what you done heard on a Tuesday, don't think that issue's finna apply on a Friday. Because Donald J. Quavis Trump will change his mind on y'all and be like, who gonna have that? Who gonna check me boo energy? Y'all know he will. And guess who got to come back and speak to that ish after she done copped the whole attitude with somebody? Caroline. Caroline got to come back. Caroline has to come back and speak to everything regardless. And still stand on business and say it with her chest. Like the hell she didn't just say something else on Tuesday. Like she didn't say something else on Tuesday. On Friday, she gonna catch an entire attitude as though the message has not flipped. Y'all ever notice that? It's like, ma'am, your dog on Tuesday said this, and on Friday you telling us this, right? Caroline, like, F what you heard. It's about what you hearing from me today. Next. Y'all ever see her roll her head, her neck? Oh my God. Y'all, was a woman like 2 weeks ago that said something right before Trump's birthday. People said Trump was pissed off this yesterday because nobody came to his birthday party. Y'all, I live streamed the birthday party. Y'all probably can't see it now because I did see that YouTube blocked my video. But somebody asked Caroline, okay, well, if the people come out there, they protest, are they good? Will they be arrested? Which apparently was a fair question because at that time, I didn't know that Trump had already apparently gone on record of saying, or they were saying like anybody come there, they was going to do whatever to them regardless. So the woman was like, she's trying to get clarity. Like, so can people come, protest? Caroline was like, of course they can come and protest. I mean, they can have their freedom of speech. That was a dumb question. Now, didn't y'all learn? How many of y'all grew up being told that there's no such thing as a dumb question? Oh, well, Caroline let us be known that's a mother effing lie. Because she just straight told that woman, it was a black woman too. That woman's face was like, no, you didn't, bitch. I was like, Lord Jesus. Oh, MG. It couldn't have been Omarosa she was talking to. Y'all remember Omarosa? It could not have been Omarosa. Oh my God. I said, well, damn, Caroline, so much for no such thing as a dumb question. She's like, that was a dumb. I said, Lord Jesus, Caroline, where your security at? Where your security at? Where is your security? Because you out here doing reckless things in these streets with everything going on, Caroline. With everything going on. Listen, Linda, listen. I was like, Lord Jesus, help us all. But nonetheless, Donald was like, yo, I mean, I know what y'all hearing. It's cap. We did obliterate they little situation with the nuclear bomb. So no need to worry. Literally, they would have to start all over from scratch if they trying to still be on that type of time. What's up? Good morning, Dr. J. They would have to start over from scratch. They were like, they ain't gonna be setting up shop here because that's gone. Like, that's gone. So they gonna have to move around. So I don't know what y'all reading, whatever y'all hearing that came out in these reports. So it's like he's not saying, I mean, it's so funny because it's like there was so they do acknowledge that there was like this report, I guess, that took place. So it's two parts to it. So we're dealing with the fact that it was leaked. We're dealing with that. So that's a conversation that it was leaked. And then the second conversation is, well, what was in the report? What's in the report? What was in the report, does that align with what Donald Trump has been saying? So like I said, when Caroline did a statement yesterday, because I don't think she got on camera and said anything, I think she released a statement because I was hearing news outlets like read her statement. That's why I don't think she did like a conference yesterday, but I didn't see it. She could have done one, I didn't see it, but she released a statement. And to me, it was given, she was in her feelings about, like, she talked a lot about the fact that it was leaked, the leak. So you got to stay with me. It's about this leak and the truth coming out through this leak. And you should have been around, been on this planet long enough to know that a lot of times, excuse me, what is being said in the media by the powers that be, by the government, does not always align with the truth. Y'all figured that out yet? It don't always align with the truth. I'm just saying. I can't say what the situation is with this, but I'm just putting that out there that a lot of times, I know I've lived long enough, my 44 years, to see that the truth does not always align with the message that is put out there to the people. That's why it's important to do your research and to not just go off of just what somebody said, but to go and do your homework. Even when you come off of my lives, even when you come off of my lives, do your homework. Go research the things that you're hearing because it can save your life. It could save your life. A lot of people are running around just doing and moving in a way because somebody told them something and they didn't go check for themselves. They just went off of what somebody said. So I feel like right now with the government, they not really happy that there's something that has gotten out that's contradictory to what's being put out there. You see, they don't like that. They don't like that. So Trump is saying, okay, Iran is going to do their report and whatever. They're going to do their report and they're going to release, they'll say whatever, assess whatever. So I don't know how long that will take. But y'all let me know in the chat. Do you feel like, yes, when we went over there, because listen, Trump said, listen, the U.S. is so bad with it. They so nice with it to where when they dropped their bombs, they did it in the complete dark. He said there was not even any moonlight. That man said, y'all, it wasn't even any moonlight. I said, what? No moonlight? He was like, yes. So even though he said the lights was off, the lights were out, no moonlight, he is still confident and ensure that they went and did what they needed to do over there. He said they went and did what they needed to do over there when they dropped those bombs and obliterated whatever they needed to obliterate down below. And he is confident that they succeeded. Now, they told y'all that man said they didn't have no lights. He said, regardless, I know we didn't have no lights, not even the moonlight, but we did do what we needed to do. And I can tell that we did what we need to do because on the grounds, on the top where you can see with the naked eye, it was smoke. Everything was blown up because he can't speak to what's below, like down ground. He's like, on the top part, he was like, y'all, it's bad. Everything all blown up. So it got to be bad down at the bottom because it's bad at the top. Y'all follow me? He like, yo, it's bad. It's bad at the top. So I know it's bad at the bottom. That's how I know it was obliterated. Yeah. Because I saw the top and the top was just a hot damn mess. So I know the bottom got to be a mess. That's how I know. And I know this without a report. Now, regardless, I know the report came back inconclusive, but I still believe in my soul. So basically, y'all, this man like, yo, F what you heard. It's my inner soul, my spirit that's telling me that we did what we need to do. We did what we needed to do. And I'm standing on that. And y'all know Trump be on that, like, yo, like, because I said so type stuff. Well, Trump, like, how do you know Iran has these? Because I said so. Well, Tulsi Gabbard over the, the person, F what you heard. She don't know what she's talking about. I know. I'm Donald John Quavius Trump. I know. And I'm telling y'all that they got nuclear bombs. Next. Like, y'all know he be on some, because I told you so type stuff. Y'all know it. And Caroline get up there on that podium and reiterate that. She reiterate, like, listen, that I done told you, because Caroline will hit you with, I done told y'all multiple times. You know how your mama catch an attitude with you when she repeatedly told you some ish and she got to keep talking, and mama don't like to keep repeating herself. Mama be on that, I done told you. I ain't finna tell you again. I'm tired of talking. That's the type of energy Caroline be coming with at these press conferences. But here's the thing. I think a lot of why she has to constantly repeat herself is because what she says does not always, a lot of times, does not line up to what we see, what we're seeing. And so it's just like, listen, I'm trying to understand. Because yes, you been saying this. You've been saying this, but this is what the people have been seeing. So that's where these questions are coming from. Really say, look like he handled business to me. Listen, Trump said, listen, y'all seen the satellites like me. Go look at the satellites again. We was over there turning TVs off. Go look at the satellite. We did what we needed to do. Just never mind that inconclusive part in the report. And by the way, we're gonna do our investigation to learn who's behind the leak of the intelligence report. But in the meantime, in between time, y'all need to get this answer right on the future history test. When the question comes up, how did the war between Israel and Iran end in June 2025? The answer is because the U.S. went over there and dropped them bombs at the orders of Donald Jaquavius Trump. Listen, that's what that man said. Y'all, he did say, y'all, I ended this war. U.S., we ended this war. The U.S. ended this war. We ended this war. That's what he said. And he meant that. It's like, all right, then, player. So right now, the boys and girls, everybody playing fair for now, for the looks of it over there. Let's talk about these doggone sleeper cells. Are y'all still sleeping? knowing that the sleeper cells are still out there. Do y'all feel confident that the sleeper cells gonna stay asleep, even though or now that everything is supposed to be all good in the hood over there in Iran and Israel? Y'all feel good that these people over here in the U.S. the streets of the U.S. are gonna continue to be undercover at your churches, at your jobs, at your schools, at your Walmart, at your Goodwill, because they're blended, like they're in the community. So you can't just identify them with the naked eye, like, oh, I got one. Like, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. So I learned last night that there's several cities across the US that it said that so there's this list, another, as we talk about these leaks. as, as we talk about, y'all, it's unfortunate, but a lot of times the information that we need is coming from a leak. It's coming from a leak. It's not coming from the government, the powers that be being forthcoming with this information. So, coming from another leak, there's multiple cities across the US that are that will have heightened like security, and those cities are like New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, Atlanta, who else, is it Miami? Like there's about 6 major like cities across the US to where right now they have heightened. There's, go online, you can look it up, Google cities that have heightened alert. It's out there. There's multiple people that I've seen, just different, content creators that cover just the political scene. Go out there, type in, cities on high alert. It's going to come up. You will be able to see. You can take it into your YouTube or go to Google. The cities are on high alert. I'm driving, so I can't get into all the sources right now. Some of my content, you all, if you're new to my channel, I am stationary. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I do car chronicles, so I'm like driving. But other times, I'm like, I have my notes and we get into it. So just look it up. There are cities that have heightened security. We did see, remember, was that maybe Monday? I think it was maybe Monday or Sunday, where there was heightened security at the subways in New York City. Did y'all see that? In New York City, I saw that. They had heightened security. Stay vigilant. Stay vigilant. There's a lot going on. So just be mindful. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, when I learned about us dropping those bombs, the U.S., because I'm in the U.S., I'm in the state of Georgia. When I learned about the U.S. dropping those bombs on Saturday, my thoughts went to Iran and how they may want to get back at the U.S. Talks of sleeper cells started being heavy in conversations, just water cooler conversations, internet conversations, and the conversation had, intertwined with the immigration, the issue that we got here in the U.S. with illegal immigration. Because with illegal immigration, that means we have a large, like millions. Tom Homan, the border czar under the Trump administration, says we have like 20 million illegal immigrants that are here, and they got to go. So the Trump administration is like, yo, like, the part that's not right is that if anything pop off over here at the hands of a foreigner, an illegal immigrant, somebody who shouldn't be over here, people are going to be quick to point the finger at Donald Trump because he's the leader. Because maybe he, quote unquote, angered some people that had them to want to react. Where they're saying, in reality, these people are here because they came underneath Biden's watch. when he had the borders literally open, free for all. Like it was a damn flea market. Everybody can come. So that's the conversation. Because if you don't know who's over here, like you just don't know. Like I said, you can't just be walking around and just with the naked eye, just like, oh, that's one right. Like it don't work that way. That's not how it works. It don't work that way. You really just not gonna know until you hear on the news that Lord, somebody that got it started. Somebody that threw up, like, remember 9/11? Like you just prior to 9/11, from my memory, and I was probably like 20 early, like 20 years old, 21 years old when that happened. I don't remember the US being heightened at that time to be looking over our shoulders looking for things to happen. It kind of like we just learned, oh my God, these planes blew up. Whereas that in today's time, we seen some stuff pop off that has us to now be kind of vigilant, like, oh my God, let me look over my shoulder. Let me see, let me just monitor, be more careful. So there was something that kind of transpired beforehand that has us now to kind of be watchful. So we're looking like, okay, that person kind of looked kind of suspect. You know what I'm saying? And I got to thinking, and I was telling somebody, I'm like, these are probably going to be tough times for people who are of the Muslim faith, or who visibly, with brown skin, look as though they're from the Middle East, Arabic, all of that. Because I remember, y'all remember during around 9/11 time when people was giving the side eye, who looked like they just was somewhere over in the Middle East. Y'all remember that? Them people was getting the business. They was getting discriminated against. Folks wasn't trying to be with them on the planes. Y'all remember them times? I remember that. I remember the company I worked for. We had a lot of people, that came from like the Middle East that worked at our like. I remember those times. Those were tough times for them people. Racial like profiling, all of that. So I got to thinking like, man, will we go back to something like that? Because right now it's been on and popping. So it's just like, you don't know, like with these sleeper cells, who over here rolling with Iran and just ready to jump off the porch, what at a phone from a phone call. You just don't know, right? So my question to you is, with the war no longer going on, from what we've been told and kind of have seen, yesterday probably was like the first day where there was just, there was no fire, no shooting, nothing going on. Do you feel like, okay, the US is safe and we good, we Gucci? Are you like, oh hell no, I don't trust that. They just laying in the cuts. They just laying in the cuts right now. Like, what do you think? Do you think that Iran feel like, okay, they even with us because they went went to Qatar, they dropped some bombs, did whatever. I think they blew up one of the US bases, military bases over there. So do you think that they consider themselves even with us? And they no longer feel like they need to make a phone call, send a pigeon put a pigeon in the sky with a note to somebody over here. Like, do you think that they're good? Are they good? Like, that's the question. These are the questions. It's just so much unrest going on. But I'm finna tell y'all who ain't finna be good. Y'all come on in here. Double tap the screen, like this video. It's 102 of y'all in here. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to my Wednesday Car Chronicle edition. Listen, any of y'all heard about Alligator Alcatraz? I heard about Alligator Alcatraz over the weekend. Alligator Alcatraz. Look it up. It's in Florida. I heard about it over the weekend when it was being proposed. So it has been approved. Alligator Alcatraz has been approved. You all, I told y'all it's going to be on and popping this year for the 4th of July. It's a lot that's supposed to pop off for the 4th of July. We got the Diddy trial wrap up around the 4th of July. We got the big, beautiful Bill Act that they trying to have approved by the 4th of July. And then now, Alligator Alcatraz. Alligator Alcatraz is they're aiming to have that open in operation as a detention center by the first week in July. Alligator Alcatraz. Good morning. Entertain name. Thank you for the super chat. You said Kamala lied. Yeah, I don't rock with Kamala. Yeah, she be lies and propaganda. I can't do her. I don't do Kamala because she be lying. But who's not lying is me when I talk about Alligator Alcatraz. Get into Alligator Alcatraz. Alligator Alcatraz in Florida. So let's talk about it. It's Alligator Alcatraz is going to be located in the Dade Collier training airport. Those of you who are Floridians, familiar with Florida, this place is located alongside of Big Cypress National Preserve. So, child, they got alligators. I told y'all it's called Alligator Alcatraz. So they got alligators. It's 55 miles west of Miami. So they're going to have build a detention center out there that it'll have 5,000 beds. So these illegal immigrants that they round up, the ones that they round up that would be eligible to go to like a Guantanamo Bay. So these are like the worst of the worst. So if they round you up and then they identify you as like just this criminal that's just out here doing the absolute most in the streets and to the people, this is a place where you can get sent to. It's a detention center, Alligator Alcatraz. So the whole notion behind it is that if you break out, see, you're surrounded by like with this water, and it got the Alcatraz. I mean, not the alligator, it got the alligators in there. So if you try to break loose to get away, you got to get past the alligators. Now, I don't know if they had a mindset on hell. If you can get past the alligators, then you free. You did that. Then you free. But this is going to cost $450 million annually to keep going. Alligator Alcatraz. So to maintain it, for everything that's going to go into this, because this week on Monday they started working on it already. They're trying to have it up and ready by the holiday. Look it up. 450. It's going to cost about $450 million a year to maintain it with everything. And guess what? Half of that money, half of the cost of it, is going to come from FEMA. FEMA is paying for half of it. Alligator Alcatraz was proposed by an attorney general. I don't have his name right now, out there in Florida. He proposed it. And Trump was like, you know what? You know what? I think we can do something with that. I like that. So Trump approved it. Trump has approved it. Y'all let me know, how do you feel about it? Because remember, these are like bad. So from my understanding, it's only like the ones that they're picking up that's where they was just doing them like murder, rape people, like molesters, those criminals who are just doing the most, like that deserve to be locked up and the key thrown away forever, ever. From my understanding, is those people who would be at Alligator Alcatraz, not just somebody being picked up and they're just waiting to be sent back home. Like most of the people who they pick up, these are going to be like your bad people. So even with the bad people, are you still here for them to be in an environment like that to where they're surrounded by the alligators? Or do you feel like, nah, just inhumane and they need to just, y'all need to come up with something else? Because one of the local politicians there, I think she's the mayor out there, she was like, nah, I don't like this idea because I feel like it's a liability. Like she doesn't, she's just, I guess she's looking at the liability of the town for like if something happens to someone. So I think that's why when I told y'all as far as with the government putting their hands in it, FEMA, like it's going to, I think, eventually kind of be taken away from like, I guess underneath maybe the state of Florida control like that. So they don't have the liability. But this is just some information I found this morning right before I went live regarding the Alligator Alcatraz. So more information is going to come. I'll learn more information about Alligator Alcatraz, but it has been approved. Let me see, it's 30. It's 30 square miles. That's the area, 30 square miles, and it's completely surrounded by the Everglades. 30 square miles, completely surrounded by the Everglades, and the runway. Because remember, it's on like a airport. It's Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport. So the runway is 10,005 feet long. So if you go online and type in Alligator Alcatraz, even go to YouTube, you can see videos of what it's looking like on the runways. The different, I don't know if they're porta potties, but you see just these different blocks on the runways. It's like a lot of them, and they just all lined up on the runways. I think they said because someone had like the bird's eye view, they was like in a helicopter looking down at everything because the project is underway. It's approved. They started working it on Monday, and the goal is to have it up and running by the first week in July. That's why I say 4th of July, Independence Day, like the holidays. That's next week. It's next week. That's the goal, is for them to have it ready for people to come there, because as you've been seeing, unless you've been under a rock in the US, like ICE have been aggressive with rounding up people in the US, illegal immigrants. They've been going to Walmart, the flea market, restaurants, courthouses. They're going to court appearances. Like they're going wherever they believe illegal immigrants may be. Some people are reporting people, and they're going off of that, the information, and like this is what's happening. This is what's happening. They're everywhere. And Tom was like, for people to think that it's not a real situation that we have here in the US with people here who have been unidentified, people here to where there's no record, no paper trail as to who the freak they are. Like for you to think that that's not a problem, that's not an issue for the US people, a threat. He was like, you crazy. I think he said it's a good 2 million of them, y'all, that they know that's on the streets here that have that are on record as being criminals who need to be over at Alligator Alcatraz. Don said, we'll leave the light on. Listen, he was like, we got to get these people up out of here. We need some place to send them. So that's the problem. And I reported on this one months ago. Y'all follow me, because I give constant updates. I go live almost daily, at least probably about 4 days a week. I'm going live. The goal was at one point to round up 1,800 illegal immigrants a day. The goal right now, as of June, what's today? The 25th, 2025. The goal is to round up 3,000 illegal immigrants a day. 3,000. Where the freak they going? Where are they going? So the new industry you all now is detention centers, ICE detention centers. Because I reported about this months ago that like Texas right now has the most detention centers for illegal immigrants. Texas has the most. So you got some people in Texas that were maybe in other industries that are like, yo, I'm changing industries. I'm moving over to this industry of the industry of having detention centers because the government, this is coming from government money. The government, we're paying for this. It's government money. I done told y'all the government is about to pay for the Alligator Alcatraz. It is about to cost $450 million to maintain a year, like $450 million. Remember, I think over in El Salvador, they sending that man, how much money they sending him? Bukele to keep those people that Trump was sending. I think that deal is about $2 million a year. I think it's $2 million that the U.S. is sending back, but Bukele, the president, the leader of El Salvador, to house those prisoners, those people that Trump put on a plane some months back. But this project is more, $450 million a year. FEMA is going to be paying half of it. So think about ICE detention centers in a way that you would think about prisons. How many of y'all have heard the conversations over the years, like prisons, that being the business, building prisons? Have y'all ever heard talks about how kids from like third grade, something about third graders, how they can predict based off of a child's reading level from the third grade, like the little boys, the black boys, like they can predict where their life is going to go based off of their reading level at third grade. It's something about third grade, you all. So they start building these prisons and things because they got this data that they have that has them to be able to project who will need to be locked up based off of whatever they basing it off of. So the prisons, that's the people call that's the modern day slavery. You know, they're these workers, what they making 10 cents an hour, 25 cents an hour. You got them fighting fires. Y'all remember Kamala, that story? Somebody sent me a super chat talking about Kamala. Y'all remember Kamala in when she was in California? Well, what position she had? She might was just an attorney general, but when she had a position in California and she didn't want to release the prisoners who was able to get out because it would impact the manpower that they would have to fight the fires. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? Look into that. Go to the internet. Go to Diddy internet. Beyonce internet, whoever the hell internet you needed to be this week. Go to the internet. Type in Kamala Harris and prisoners, not wanting to release prisoners because of fires. She wanted them to stay locked up because that was that was their workers. She was on some, well, hell, if we let them out, who's gonna be able to fight these fires? I told you I ain't never liked that. I ain't like that woman for a long, long time. Just as long as I've known who she was and when I learned about what type of time she was on, I've never liked her. I'm from California. I don't like her. And so I say that to say is that the prisons, like, it's a business. The prisons is a business. It's free labor. It's free labor. They get all kinds. There's different things that people do in prison for work where it's helping companies on the outside. It's helping companies on the outside. So now with the detention centers, with these detention centers popping up, that's like the new plug. Because it's like, oh, bet we have all these illegal immigrants here. ICE is rounding them up, and they're running out of places to house them, to place them. Like, where are they going? Florida talked about a couple of months ago that they don't have room for them. They don't. Their jails is full. Like, they like, we don't have enough space for them. So that's why the detention centers. So look into that. Detention centers are popping up because they got to house these people. They got to have some place to place them, because as we're seeing, when Trump has been trying to send a lot of them out of the country, he'll get blocked. Somebody will file a suit, and next thing you know, he got to kind of sit, wait for the judges, whoever, Supreme Court, whoever's ruling on it, federal judge, whoever, he got to wait for them to rule on it. So it's slowing down the process. It's slowing down the process. So in the meantime, it's almost like, I think of it almost like a bottleneck process, to where it's like, okay, we're rounding them up. What are we doing with them? Because their initial plan was, hey, just as quickly as we round them up, we send them yonder. You put them on a plane, we put them on the spirit flights, and we send them on out. But it's not working that way. It's not working that way. They're rounding them up, but they're kind of still stuck here in the US. So it's like, okay, well, while they're here, where we gonna have them at? So that's where the Alligator Alcatraz comes into play. It's going to be a facility, a detention center, where illegal immigrants will be housed. So think of Guantanamo Bay and the people who get sent over there. Those type of people you would find at the Alligator Alcatraz. I don't know if they still exploring the idea of opening up Alcatraz in California, in San Francisco, because I talked about that a couple of months ago, where that was an idea that was on the table to revitalize Alcatraz. I think right now it's being used as a kind of like a museum, a tour place where people go and tour, which I didn't even know that. So, but I think it's right now you can maybe go tour it. I think you can still tour it, or if you can't, they stopped doing that. But at one point, you was able to tour it. But they were entertaining the idea of having that as a location, to send people. So they were like, all right, then Florida was like, okay, well, while West Coast work on that, we got an idea for you over here. They got a whole little campaign spiel and everything. Trump was like, bet. Bet. So Alligator Alcatraz will be coming very soon. The doors will be open. Will be opening. They'll probably start sending people over there. We'll hear about it probably by mid-July, early mid-July, very soon. July is what, next week? Can you believe it? We're already halfway through this year, which means that we are halfway through the first year of the Trump administration. We are halfway through the first year. We got 3.5 more years, y'all. Hold the line, hang tight. So that's where we are with that. Um, Not sure how these protests have been going. I haven't been checking for that to see how things are going over there in California or anywhere else with that, because this whole war little situation have kind of taken over the news. Trump did bring up the Big Beautiful Bill Act again. Oh yeah, Tom Homan, whatever that's in that Big Beautiful Bill Act is also, I guess, providing additional resources and things, and maybe, I don't know, maybe laws, regulations, because Tom Homan was like, this whole illegal immigration, this little situation that we got, not a little situation, this big situation that we got going on in the US, he was like, this is why we need the Big Beautiful Bill Act passed. So I'm like, so I'm not quite sure right now what's in the Big Beautiful Bill Act that speaks to like this immigration situation, because it's been some weeks since I covered that. I was covering that some weeks back, but as of late, it's been more so centered around just the war stuff, and then like the protests. But He's like, yo, we have to pass this big beautiful bill act because this illegal immigration situation, it is out of control. You all just don't understand. It's out of control. It's the worst that I've seen right now. What's going on, it's just the worst that I've seen or been experiencing in the past 4 years with, I guess, the challenges that he's been seeing or experiencing with all of this in his job. So it's pretty bad, but I feel like we're going to be seeing better days sooner than later. We're going to be seeing better days because I personally feel like, y'all, like, we made our way kind of so far down when it's come to just a lot of things with the economy, with just everything, to where I just feel like there's just the only place left is to go up. Like, we just got to go up. Welcome you all. Double tap the screen, like the video, become a political honor student. $2.99. We have the Timu prices. You get priority. Your comments will be read. You'll have priority to me reading your comments. Why? Because your name will show up in color, and I could more easily see your comment. Kind of like with a super chat. When you send a super chat, I can see it in color, so it pops. Sometimes it can get crazy in the chat, and it's hard for me to get through all the comments. But when I'm able to, I do try to go through the comments. So y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Just be respectful. I have awesome mods. They only gonna get rid of you if you're being disrespectful. So just be respectful. But um, but yeah, I have faith. I feel like we're gonna see better days because, child, we didn't things have just gotten so low as far as from an energy level. I feel like in our country, to where it's just like we just got to go up. So I am just hopeful and prayerful for better days. Iran and Israel, they finally stopped fighting. So yes, that is a win. That is a plus. uh, what that means for the US, I don't know. We will come to see sooner than later. How that's going to be impacting us. My prayers is that we'll continue to thrive as a nation. We'll continue to thrive. I just hope that US, like, I don't know. I just don't understand why we just always got to be in the mix for everything. Like, why can't we just sit on the sidelines like the rest of the nations? I just don't like that we always have to just kind of get caught up in everybody's drama, whether we're funding the madness or we're uh, providing ammo and dropping bombs, like for stuff that ain't got nothing to do with us. Like, I don't like that. I just don't like that. I don't like that American people lives have to get put on the line for things that just has absolutely nothing to do with us. Because what other nations or countries like that we see where people are just rushing to come and support us and jump to our defense, like, and I'm not saying we need any help or not, but I'm just saying it's just still principle. Like, I hope that's the hell they was talking about at the NATO meeting yesterday. Because from what I was hearing leading up to the meeting, Trump was wanting to have conversations centered around other nations kind of pulling their weight more with funding and financing these other countries that are in need of, assistance when it comes to these things like wars, resources, things like that. He's like, the US, we tend to just put way more in the pot than anybody else. And I just don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. So I really would like to see that change, because I don't feel like we need to be a part of everything, like everybody's situation. We can be on the sideline as a support, give words of encouragement, just like I feel like we could have been, with this Iran Israel situation. I feel like because we didn't get caught up and involved with the Ukraine, what was that? Was that Russia and Ukraine? We didn't put our pilots in our military in planes to go fly over there. Like, okay, we gave Ukraine a few dollars or whatever, trillions of dollars, Biden, but we didn't send our people over there. From what I know, like we didn't send our people over there. We showed support we provided financial support, resources, things like that. And I still feel like, hell, we need to kind of hold back on that because, hell, they talk about this daggone debt we got. That money that we're funding for other people's wars is coming from the bucket, from monies that we don't have. So it's increasing the debt. So it's multiple reasons why I just feel like we need to start doing things different because we really can't afford it. We on our Tasha K. We've been on our Tasha K before Tasha K. We ain't got it. Like we don't have it. And I feel like we need to stop acting like we got it. We really don't have it because they quick to talk about, oh, this debt. That's why y'all got to start paying back y'all student loans and because we got this debt. But when it comes time for a war, suddenly, oh, you can find the money. You ain't talking about the debt we got. You going and finding the money to give to whoever. Because when the last time like we truly been at war with somebody like where it's been our fight? It's been a minute. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. So it just doesn't make sense that we're funding like all of these wars and continuing to just get more and more in debt when we got a lot here in the US that we need to be focused on, like getting our homelessness under control. Homelessness is crazy. It's insane. Y'all think they focusing on doggone illegal immigration. They need to create a task force to focus on homelessness. Homelessness is ridiculous in the US. How about that? Can y'all imagine like the same amount of energy being put into homelessness as it's been put into illegal immigration, like what the streets of America would look like if it was the same energy, the same amount of money being dedicated? Because you got to pay these ICE workers. I think, remember, okay, back to the big, beautiful bill when Tom said that's why we got to get this bill passed because he said they don't have enough ICE workers. So I think with part of with this bill, it's also to I think increase the budget and things like that so they can get more resources to help with this whole illegal immigration system. But he was like, yeah, they don't they're severely short when it comes to the ICE workers. They need more ICE workers. They don't have enough people. They need more. But yeah, we'll have to get back into that big beautiful bill act because around the holiday, before the holiday, the Trump administration was wanting the Senate to do the vote, to finally vote on it. They wanted to try to get it passed around the 4th of July. So that's what remains to be seen. See, for a minute we was focused on this war stuff, but now since that's kind of then calmed down from what it appears at least, I think the attention is going to start to go back to the big beautiful bill act once Trump makes his way back. I don't think he's back in the US yet. He may be coming back today or tomorrow because I think when he was in the Netherlands, I think that's where the NATO summit was at, is held at this year. But the big beautiful bill act, when he gets back, they're probably going to get back into kind of talking about that because next week is what, the 4th of July. So they want to have it voted on before then. So get into that. Get into that. Take a look at that big beautiful bill act to learn like what's in there because I'm pretty sure Senate there's some things in it that they're going to want to have changed in it. When I left off talking about it a couple of weeks back, the was that Medicaid was a big one that people just weren't like here for, like cuts to Medicaid, because they talked about how millions of people were going to suddenly find, I don't know if they say about 5 million people, it was a big number. Millions of people would suddenly, almost like overnight, go without having medical insurance, which in turn would result in a number of people losing their lives because they don't have medical insurance. They can't get treatment for whatever ailment, whatever they got going on. So that was a big thing. That was a big thing. But the Trump administration still argues that no, it's not like that. We're not taking. It's like one group says no, y'all pulling money, then they say, well, no, we're not. So got to deep dive back into that again because it's a lot of pages. It's over. I think it's over 1,000 pages. Yeah, Big Beautiful Bill Act is over 1,000 pages. I have not read it all, but I've skimmed through it. I know a lot of the politicians on the lower level who voted for it admitted that they didn't read it. Who is that? Green. What was her name? She's here in Georgia. The green lady. I can't think of her name, but some of the politicians are acknowledging. They're like, no, I mean, yeah, I voted for it, but I didn't read it. I didn't know that was in there. So that is happening. People are passing it and voting yes. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Thank you, Dr. J. Yeah. Marjorie said, listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't read that part. Listen, I got it presented to me the night before the vote. And they told me that's what she said. It was another guy who admitted that he didn't read it as well. So these are just a couple of people who are on record saying, hey, listen, I ain't read it. Them folks put it in my face, said, hey, this is what's in it. This is a beautiful bill. Vote yes. And that's what they did, which is very scary. It's very scary that you got these leaders that you vote for that are making decisions all willy-nilly, like without, but they're not making informed decisions. They're like, oh, okay, all right, check, check, check. Oh, Trump, I'm a Republican. Trump put this out there. All right, my vote is yes. And it's just like, what? And then now on the back end, it's just like, oh my, I didn't know that was in there. Like you said, what? You said AI? You said what? We can't mess with AI or whatever. Yes. Yes, so that's the situation. So we definitely, before we get to voting on things, we need to understand what it is that we are voting on. Because much of what's in this bill, whatever that these people are voting yes on, it's going to be in place for upwards of like 10 years. So it's not like, oh, I'm voting for something and then next year in 2026, I'm gonna be up to vote for it again. No, no, no. It's not how this is working. This is like, these are going to be things that are going to be in place for anywhere up to like 10 years. Up to 10 years. So from what I've heard, when I last left off on just listening to commentary centered around the Big Beautiful Bill Act and how the Senate was viewing it, there was a number of them, Republicans, who had questions about some things in it, and they just weren't like quick to just put their stamp on it. So with that being said, Trump could very well have to revise it and then send it back. So if that takes place, it is a good chance it may not get approved by the 4th of July, but I don't know if the whole back and forth thing, if it already started going where they be like, oh, I don't like this, fix that, because they really haven't been talking about it. And what we don't want, y'all know a lot of times when with the distractions to where while we looking to the right, some happen on the left to where stuff mess around and get passed. And we weren't even looking because we was focused on something else. Because prior to this whole war situation, the Big Beautiful Bill Act was basically the primary, like that was the conversation piece. Remember, it was that, and then you started seeing these protests in the streets, sitting around with the mass roundups for the ICE, by ICE for the illegal immigrants, the roundup of the legal immigrants. Remember that it was the Big Beautiful Bill Act we was talking about heavy. Then we switched over to the protests. Then we switched over to the war in Iran, between Iran and Israel. Meanwhile, we got this Big Beautiful Bill Act that's trying to get pushed through. This is what I'm talking about when I say that sometimes while we focus in on one part, one thing, something else is taking place because we have not been talking about that in weeks now. And the goal, since I've known, has been to get it passed through Senate by the 4th of July. Because remember, to get it passed through the House, their goal was to do it by Memorial Day. I don't know why they're doing it, why they lining them up with the holidays, but they achieved that goal. It got passed right before going into the Memorial Day weekend. It worked out. The next goal was to get it through the Senate by When everybody was last talking about it, people was in just up in arms about it. Distractions, right? People are in up in arms about it. We have not been talking about it. This is a great opportunity for it to be slid in and voted on, because we was focused on something else. Trump dropping bombs over in Iran. Ain't nobody worried about no tariffs. When the last time somebody spoke on some tariffs? That's not what we've been talking about. We've been talking about other things. And y'all know, I know a content creator, people's attention spans are very short. You learn that more than anything when you're a content creator. Anybody in this chat, if you're a content creator, you know, people's attention span is very short. You can see that through the analytics, how long you're keeping people, your viewers. It's very short. So it doesn't take much to distract someone. It doesn't take much at all. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. So, big beautiful bill, it will be voted on next week. Don't be surprised, y'all, if it's voted on and it's passed as is. It's passed as is. Do not be surprised if you see that happen. Nobody been doing no pushback. Folks been focused and worried about other things that's been popping off. So you get the big beautiful bill act slid across the table. It's time to vote. People are, all right then, well, let's just go ahead and vote it. We got other things we've been worried about. We got Iran, Israel, trying to make sure the gas prices don't get too crazy. Like we got the protests out here. Let's go ahead and just pass this big beautiful bill. Let's just go ahead and pass it. Y'all, a lot of times this is what happens. They vote on things when we're asleep. The big beautiful bill act, when it was passed through the House, it happened after midnight. Like this is what happens. It happens in the wee hours when we're asleep. When you learn about it maybe the next day or a day or so later, because you didn't even know that they was even voting on it. And then, as I said, a lot of the politicians, the state representatives, they're like, yo, I mean, I didn't even read it. What? That's scary. That's scary. Thanks for telling me, but they're like, shit, I didn't read that thing. It's over 1,000 pages. OMG. But that's what comes into, when you're into politics. Like, this is what comes with it. You gotta read. You gotta get into this stuff. If you're representing the people, you gotta take the time out to read this stuff, because that don't fly by to the people who voted you in when you say you're making these decisions and you're not informed. You're just kind of just making decisions just because, well, somebody told me to make a decision today. Double tap the screen. Good morning. We got 91 likes, 82 of you. Double tap the screen. See if we can get to 100 before this live ends. Good morning. We just talking today. Trump said, listen, no matter what New York Times says, CNN says, MSNBC say, whatever, no matter what they say, the USA, we ended this war, the war between Iran and Israel. Iran will not be building any nuclear bombs. We obliterated, what they have popping off underneath ground. They will not be able to continue on with their mission of, using these or working to complete or use these nuclear bombs. Like, they're done. He's so. Do you believe that? He said the New York Times, they going to hell. He said they bad people. Y'all, he did say that. He said the New York Times, those are bad people. They going to hell. I said, wow. So the leaked intelligence, He was like, yes, okay, the report do say that it's inconclusive as of like as it pertains to the damage that was done, but I mean, in my opinion, based off of what I'm able to see from what's on ground, how bad it looks like it's bad down there too. It looked like it would be, it's given that, okay, if it's bad on top of land, then it's bad underground too. Like, this is the rationale he has, regardless of what you hear. But he said Iran will be doing their own reporting. They'll do their research and all of that. So I don't know how that works. Who would that information be filtered through? So I guess Iran will do their little thing. So do y'all see so do we I don't know. I don't know if it'll be, I don't know how it works, but he was saying how Iran, they will have their people on ground going to survey the scene to see whatever. But I'm like, okay, with people who are from Iran and who have allegiance to Iran, would they really come back and tell the US like, yeah, y'all succeeded? Or like, I don't know. It's like, do we expect for them to be truthful with the situation? Like, do we, I don't know. It just seems weird to me to be looking for Iran to co-sign something, because to me it would make sense for the Iran to be like, oh well, yeah, that bad of a damage. I don't know. That's just me, but me, I'm just thinking about it wrong. I don't know, because according to, I guess, the leaked intelligence reports, it looks like they just had that back by a matter of months. So it wasn't really any real damage to their materials. I guess the materials that's needed as far as for the nuclear bombs, that's kind of still intact. So they'll be back up and running like by the holidays. Let's just say by the holidays, by the holidays, I will be up and running like before. But Trump is saying that's not the case. So it's like, y'all, like, do y'all believe Trump? Do you believe Trump? Or are you like, no, I'm going off of what this leak, this intelligence report? Because I haven't seen the report. Have any of you all seen a report? Is it out there for people to like watch, to read it or something? I just been hearing talks about this report. Have anybody seen a report? Like, is it like out there to where people have it and they're like reading it? Like, where is the information coming from? Because I've just been hearing just the major news outlets just talk about such a report, but I haven't like seen anyone like reading something like from a document. So it's just like, okay, where is this coming from? So that's the question I have. I have to try to figure that out. I have to figure that out, because apparently it's real, and that's not up for debate. Like, this leak report is real. So based off of how the Trump administration is responding, like, it is real. But they're saying that, I guess, the person who wrote up the report, because I guess the report just got the person's opinions about, okay, hey, this is what my observation was or whatever. Thanks so much, Champion Out, for the sub. So the report, is it saying, hey, based off of what I'm seeing, this is what my views or my opinion is? Because they're not denying that there's a report out there in the leak. Like, it's just a matter of what's been said in it, that they're saying, well, no, we disagree. So it seemed like it's an opinion based report where somebody went out there and from their observations, they're like, yo, this is what's really going on, and it contradicts what the Trump administration has said. Sean says, what report are we discussing? This leaked report, this intelligence report, where it's someone basically, I guess, did a write-up on the impact that the bombs had on Iran. So what I'm thinking, because I don't know full details, what I'm thinking is that someone went over there Someone went over there. Somebody from our government went over there because things are okay now. That I think the airways like is open. Somebody went over there and then they visibly looked at the spot where the bombs hit, and they formed a conclusion that, yeah, no, it wasn't, we didn't obliterate whatever. It did some damage now, but not the type of damage that Trump is putting out there that it did. So that's what's supposedly been said in this report. That's so, Chick said, so an unnamed source. Yeah, it's like it's multiple outlets. And then the Trump administration is speaking on it. The leak, whatever, they're saying yes, they did have intelligence over there. They're saying they're now investigating to see who leaked it. So it's not a question of whether or not the report took place, because the report took place. It's a matter of, okay, who leaked the report? That's what the Trump administration wants to know. Who did it? Who leaked it? Because the report is real. And then they want to, and then they're talking about, there's a conflict on, I guess, the opinions written, I guess, in the report, like what the person had to say in regards to like what their thoughts are about the damage that was done there. Does that make sense? Because the person who did the report, like, yo, I mean, they did some work now. It was some damage now. It was some damage, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It wasn't on 10. It was maybe on 7, but it wasn't on 10. So it's looking like they'll be up and running in probably about 90 days by the holidays. By Halloween, it looks like they're going to be good. They'll be back up and running and business as usual. So supposedly this report, that's what it's saying. But what I'm saying, I have not seen the report. I've just been hearing the different news outlets. Trump, I just been listening to hearing them talk about a report, leaked intelligence. So there is leaked intelligence out there, and that is not up for debate. There is a leak. And we will see if down the line, if they will come out to say who was the person behind the leak, because they said that they are determined to, Caroline said it, Trump said it. They all said they are determined to find out who leaked it. And I just think that, they big mad because it's the information in there. It's kind of different from the information that Trump was putting out as far as the type of damage that was done over there when it comes to the nuclear bombs. So that's on that. So again, I'm always tapped in, continuing to move around to listen out, see what's going on, because there's a lot going on in these political streets. Also been following the Diddy trial. That's wrapping up from my understanding this week. Follow me on my other channel. I have 2 channels. My first channel, Chic Speaks. You can follow me over there. I talk about the updates and things pertaining to like the Diddy trial, things like that. That's wrapping up. So they may probably have a verdict probably as early as next week, early next week. They may have a verdict as early as next week on that. So if you're interested in my opinions, my thoughts on that, follow me on my channel, Chic Speaks. This is my political channel, Chic Speaks, on it, where I talk all things like politics. My other channel is just all the other shenanigans that goes on into the world. I try to separate it. It gets to be too much. It's too much. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Thank you all for liking the video. Like, share, and subscribe. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. And those of you who are returning, welcome back. T said, I can't just come out and say what he is going to do. He did then. The enemy will know. Cortez says, we literally watched it. That is a fact. And no, Iran hit absolutely nothing. Listen, everybody got an opinion of what's going on. Everyone's talking about it. And that's why I say when I talk about this big, beautiful bill act, it may very well get pushed and approved as is, because no one's really talking about it like that as of late because of other things that are going on. It's the distractions. It's the distractions. And that is real. The distractions is real. You get somebody to look to the right, so therefore they don't know what's popping off on the left. It's just This is what's been happening for forever. Forever, ever. It's been happening. It's still happening. So I we will see. Y'all know I'll continue to cover this. If you're not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Please subscribe to the channel so you know when I go live again, because I will be coming back live. So I do car chronicles on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, typically in the morning time. Every now and then I'll hit you with the PM car chronicles, but it's usually in the AM on my ride into the office, on my hour-long ride into the office. So thank you for joining me. But I do other content. It's just not in the car. A lot of times I may be doing a walk and talk where I am walking and I am talking, or I may be stationary, or I may be at my computer and I'm showing you some things. So just make sure you're tapped in, subscribe to the channel, like the video so you know when I go live, because I typically go live most days. Most days I go live on one. So follow me on both platforms. Both YouTube channels, Chic Speaks and Chic Speaks on It, for just updates about just the madness that's going on, y'all. The madness. But I'm gonna get back into this big beautiful bill, because I really think that right now it's a lot of distractions going on, and it's taking the people's attention away. So stay tuned for that, because I may be coming back soon to talk about that and to let you all know where we stand with that, because the Senate should be voting very soon on it. Maybe because I think it may, I don't know if they go through like multiple votes and things like that, but very soon they will at least probably go through that, the first round of votes and things like that, because the 4th of July is when they said they wanted to have the bill passed. I feel like if it's not passed by the holiday, it's sometime in July before the month is out, it will get passed. Good morning, good morning. Special shout out to my Asamas, virtuous woman, Rizza. Y'all holding it down. Dr. J, you in here? Did I have full day? Everybody, I think Just Say When is the only one that's not here today. Thank you all for holding the chat down. Real, the artist, topic, beautiful locks. Thank you so much. Aaron says you are speaking facts. I thank you all for joining me. I just come out here and I go live, and I just give my opinions on what's going on. Everybody has an opinion. You all have an opinion. I'm just somebody who has a channel, and I come out here and I share my opinion. So that's it. That's it. It's that simple. I have a channel, got two of them. So when I got something to say, I got two channels I can pop on and just say what I got to say and hop off. It's really not that deep. It ain't no more deeper than that, y'all. It's no more deeper than that. I learn a lot of information, and I like to come out here and talk about it with you all, to share the information I learned. And sometimes the information I learn or come across, I'm like not clear on it. So I like to go live, because you all help to bring an understanding for me, as to a lot of things that are going on, because I never proclaim to know everything. So when I get the opportunities to get you through the comments, it's learning. We learning together. This is a learning environment. I affectionately refer to my followers, my subscribers, as honor students. We are lifetime learners. We elevate. We ask questions. We require people to come up to our level. And yeah, we're not sheeple. We're not sheep. We seek out answers, and we ask questions. Smart people ask questions. If you don't know something, seek out the answers. It starts with asking questions, asking someone, going into the internet, typing in the question, but it's just about learning. It's about learning, enlightenment, and that's what this environment is about. This is what it's about over here. It's what it's about over here. So I'm a lifetime learner. My background is clinical. I have a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. So a lot of times my content, I'll intertwine mental health conversations centered around mental health, uh, because everything we do in life, it impacts us in some type of way mentally. Everything, not some of the things, everything. Everything starts in the mind. And when this breaks down, the rest of the body starts to break down. So with that being said, hey, what's up, Tim? With that being said, I want you all to go out into the world, show up in a way in which you want others to show up for you. Like, attract, like. Take care of yourself and one another. Heavy on the taking care of yourself. Protect your peace. Be good to yourself. Be good to one another. Be good to others. Um, Figure out what it is that make you happy, and just do that. Find something that's healthy, that makes you happy, that makes you smile. It's the little things, I like to say. Mental health. If your mental health is challenged, I do have products on Amazon centered around mental health, adult coloring books, journals, notebooks, things like that. You can find the links for those products in some of my content on this channel. So just keep looking through my content and you'll see like the links. So you might have to go back some weeks to see because I haven't put the links in my recent videos. And you'll see the hyperlinks. You can go through my community page and find the links there. But yes, I'm all about mental health over here because that is my background. Protect your peace. Be kind. And Dr. J said, remember to subscribe. Dr. J, please drop your link in this chat before I get off. Dr. J is another content creator. Her content is centered around education and all these changes and things that we are seeing take place in the U.S., how it's impacting the education system. If you have children, you are an adult learner, you have loved ones who still rely on the education system in the U.S., you would want to be tapped in to listen to what she has to say as her someone who's been just a lifetime just educator. So she is the person to share, to enlighten you and to inform you on things centered around education. I do talk about the education system and all of that here, but not on the level that Dr. J talks about it. So if you're interested in education in the US, follow Dr. J. Dr. J, please share your channel. Tim says you have good, relatable content. Thank you so much, Tim. OM said Trump is mad. Yeah, he was mad. I mean, he might be feeling better, but I think yesterday he was mad. They was saying he was mad. Nobody came to his birthday party. But yeah, Trump was mad. He has a lot to be mad about. The world just has been at unrest for a minute now. So he's been mad. I think that, he's going to start to see better days. I think he's going to start to put focus on trying to get this big, beautiful bill act passed. That's why I want to try to take a look at that again, just to see, just to be reminded of what's going on with it or what's in it, because it's been some weeks since I kind of talked about it. So I have to refresh my memory with kind of getting back into it and seeing, okay, what's in it, because there's a lot of things that people weren't here for. There are a lot of things about that big, beautiful bill act that people are not here for. So I want to get back into it and come back here and talk to you all about it to see if any of you have had a change of heart since time have passed. Or you're like, hell no, chick, I still don't like it. It's still an ugly bill, a big, ugly bill. So we will talk about it. So make sure you're subscribed so you know when I go live. Happy hump day. You all take care of yourselves and one another. And Dr. J say, be a part of the replay gang. Be a part of the replay gang. Thank you so much, Dr. J, for sharing your link. How many subscribers do you have right now? I know your channel is growing. It should be well over 300, probably 400 now. How many subscribers do you have, Dr. J? You have really been growing. You've been growing, which is awesome. But you all follow Dr. J if you're interested in content centered around the education system. 400. Okay, that sounds about right. Look at God. Look at God. Yes, 400. We reached over 4,000 over here. So we're growing. You just put the work in and then the rest will take care of itself. That's what I say. Listen, it's nothing to it but what to do it. On that note, you all make it a great day. Happy hump day. And I will catch you all on the next live broadcast. Peace.